Okay, so picture this. You have a sacred text, something handwritten on parchment, and it's considered absolutely perfect and holy. But then, it tears. What do you do? Today, we're going to dive into the surprisingly deep and ancient rules for repairing a Torah scroll. It's a puzzle that actually tells us a lot about tradition, reverence, and even a little bit of ancient materials science. Right, this isn't just a question of finding some tape or glue. For the ancient Jewish sages, these were the most revered scholars of their time, this was a huge spiritual challenge. How do you fix a physical object without messing up its holiness? Well, they came up with a very specific and honestly fascinating set of rules to answer that exact question.
So let's get into it. You've got that Torah scroll, and a tear appears in the parchment. Can you even fix it? And if you can, how? This isn't just some hypothetical thought experiment. It's the real problem that our ancient sources were grappling with, and it kicked off a debate that's gone on for centuries.
The first answer we get comes from a sage named Rav, and at first glance, it seems pretty simple. He lays down a clear guideline that's based purely on how long the tear is. This became known as the three-line rule. According to Rav, if a tear in the parchment cuts across 2 lines of the handwritten text, well, the situation is totally manageable. The ruling is crystal clear. A 2-line tear? It's repairable. A scribe can carefully sew that parchment back together, and the scroll is still sacred, still usable. Its integrity is restored. Simple enough? But, and this is a big but, if that very same tear goes just 1 line further, crossing into a 3rd line of text, everything changes. And just like that, you cannot sew it. A 3-line tear is considered too significant. The visual break in the holy words is just too much. That whole section of parchment has to be cut out and completely replaced, not just patched up. So it seems like a straightforward black and white rule, right? Well, the debate is just getting started. Because then another sage, Rava, comes along and throws a major curveball into the mix. He argues that this strict 3-line rule doesn't apply to every single case. He says it all depends on the type of parchment the scroll is made from. Rava's distinction here is pretty fascinating. He says the ban on sewing a 3-line tear only applies to what he calls old parchment. But if the scroll is made of new parchment, you can sew it, even if the tear crosses 3, 4, or even more lines. Okay, so this immediately brings up a huge question, right? What do we mean by new? Are we talking about the literal age of the scroll? Like, does a scroll made last year have different rules than one made 100 years ago? The answer is probably not what you're thinking. This is where we uncover a really cool, hidden layer of meaning in this ancient text. See, the key to this whole puzzle has nothing to do with time. It's all about chemistry. It turns out, new parchment is actually a technical term. It means parchment that was treated with gall, a substance that comes from oak trees. It makes the animal hide stronger, way more durable, and better at holding ink. Which means old parchment is simply parchment that wasn't treated with gall. This untreated stuff is more fragile, and that's why a 3-line tear was seen as irreparable. Trying to sew it would probably just weaken it even more and make things worse. So the whole distinction was never about age, it was about material science. And there's one more crucial little detail. Even when you are allowed to sew the parchment, you can't just use any old thing. The repair has to be done with sinew, that's animal tendon, which was the traditional, proper material. Using common thread, which they called bigredin, was totally forbidden. So let's just recap the final rules here. For the untreated old parchment, a tear of 3 lines or more, nope, irreparable. But for the stronger, gall-treated new parchment, that same tear can be fixed as long as you use sinew. And for any parchment, a 2-line tear is always fixable, but again, only with sinew. But just when you think they've covered every single possibility, the text hits us with one final challenge, a scenario that really pushes the boundaries of these careful rules and shows us the true spirit of this whole debate. A scholar named Rav Yehuda bar Abba asks this absolutely brilliant question. He says, what if you have a long tear, longer than 3 lines, but it runs through the empty margins or between the lines of text? It doesn't actually damage a single sacred letter. Do the rules still apply? And the answer from the ancient text is silence. Nothing. The sages debated it, but they just couldn't land on a definitive conclusion. The question was too trippy. It fell into this gray area that their existing rules just didn't cover. The whole discussion ends with this single Aramaic word, teyaku. It means let it stand. It's basically a formal declaration that the question is left unresolved. It's this powerful acknowledgement that not every single problem has an immediate, clear-cut answer.
And, it leaves us with a final thought. Maybe the deepest reverence isn't just about having all the rules, but in knowing when to just pause and simply ponder the question itself.